How? Okay, we could change all that. Yeah. How her past will ruin your future. How her past will ruin your future. It matters, and we are here to talk about it. My dog Tez, man. Go ahead and let them know how 5 Star is doing. Introduce the show, brother, man. It is good to have us on here again, man. Like we're really out here killing it, aren't we?
Yes, we are fucking out here. It is 5 Star. We are live, back at it, bringing you guys some more fucking value. Let's get into it. We got some heat that we're bringing in today. But yeah, man, we've been just chilling, just getting to it behind the scenes, making the shit work for the fucking our audience. So we're just gonna keep adding value every fucking show. We are out here. Let's get it.
Yes, sir. Let's get it, man. We're doing the best that we can to add a lot more value to you guys. You know, we even got ourselves some new angles here in the studio today. Here, look over here. We got the Tez angle. You know what I'm saying? There it goes. There it goes. That's my boy. It's my dog. And then my angle's loading. So don't worry, man. It's all looking good up in this side of the universe. And we actually went out of our way to jam pack some more value into the show today. Shout out to the Brotherhood, man. We really got guys in our Brotherhood right now. The 5 Star Brotherhood is live and thriving. And people have a lot to say about these different areas of dating topics. You know what I mean? It's not that dating is one shoe fits all or one size fits all. It's very unique to a lot of different people. But it follows some very, very similar principles no matter where you are for a guy that's out here picking women in the world of dating. And one of the topics that me and Tez decided to talk about today with you guys, and trust me, we talk about a lot of topics that we need to bring you guys, but we're breaking it down into segments. We're breaking it down into podcast clips for you guys on the show. We've determined that it's very important to lay the groundwork and have you understand why her past can literally ruin your future. Just like you heard Tez saying on the intro of the video, man, this is a huge topic that when I was talking to Tez just now, a lot of you guys don't actually know how difficult this can be for your future, how much this will hurt you. You know, we're in a very sexually provocative, sexually liberated time where people don't necessarily, or men in particular, don't necessarily know. I won't even say that they don't know. They've been brainwashed into thinking the girl's past is okay. Like, hey, this is just what everyone's doing. And just because everyone's like promiscuous, I'm supposed to be okay with that. Bro, listen, there's different levels of dating. You know, there's casual, there's like a chick. There actually, shout out to Homath. There's keepers, sweepers, and sleepers. You know what I mean? And if you plan on giving your time to a keeper, that girl you want to bring home to mama, that girl you want to be proud of, that girl you want to show off, not the girl that you're hiding at the Coldplay concert, but the girl that you're putting on the front end of your lifestyle, her past is going to determine your future.
1,000%. And you are not you're not a secure guy if you don't care about her past. If you're like, I don't care who she had, who fucked her in the past, she's with me now. You're not a big person for that. You're not some kind of fucking macho guy who she's gonna think highly of. You're a fucking dumbass. I know society's telling you, accept her for who she is. Have no standards. She's with you now. You're insecure for caring about her past. But the moment you stop caring about her past, whether she's been fucked by 100 guys, that's the moment your future is fucked up. That's the moment your chances of divorce is higher. So if you don't care about her past, that's in other words, you're saying you don't care about your future if you don't care about her past. Because her fucked up past is gonna fuck up your future. So fucking find out what her past was. Find out if she was a fucking slut or hoe or not back in high school or back in the day. Try to find out how many fucking guys she's fucked. And she's gonna display that by her body language, by the way that she communicates, the way that she behaves. You can tell she's fucked a lot of guys. So you should definitely care about her fucking past, because if you don't, it's gonna ruin your future. So stay tuned. We're gonna make this shit make sense and just bring you guys some fucking heat. Let's get it.
Yeah, man. Now here, let's break this down with like why this is important on the lady side and how a conversation goes with the women, because. See, right now in your living room or on your phone or in the gym or wherever you're listening to 5 Star, what you're probably doing is you're like making up this scenario in your head where you're saying, yeah, I mean, she seems cool and she's cool with me and she's giving me attention, but she's been previously promiscuous. So I want to give her a relationship. Now, here's the thing. When you're a guy and you want to give a girl a relationship, you might relate with us really hard right here, right now, when we say something along the lines of, if you're giving a girl your relationship energy, you want to give her the world. You want to give her like the best dating experience. You want to take her traveling. You want to take her to movies. You want to do whatever you consider romantic. You know, watch movies together, cuddle together, spend time on boats together, spend time doing social media together, spend time taking pictures, putting up photos of her and you together. Like, men are the romantic gender. Men really do want to go all out and give you girls a beautiful, pristine time, especially if you're in the 5-star audience, bro. We want to crowd you in elegance. We want to make sure that you're getting the best 5-star experience from a man. But you're not going to get that experience from a man if you've thrown away your future by getting a little too freaky in your past. So what'll happen is you're talking to a girl and she'll convince you, because remember, shout out to my dog, man. I don't know if you remember this, but there was an OG named Kevin Samuels. You know what I'm saying? R.I.P. to him. But he had determined a vernacular, and you need to go check out some Kevin Samuels videos if you haven't ever done that before. He has a quote that he says called sign language, SIGN. Never forgot it, man. Shame, insult, guilt need to be right. A woman will speak to you in shame language, insulting language, guilt language, and the need to be right. As a man, you'll be sitting there talking with her, trying to get her to like you, trying to be agreeable, trying to say like, okay, well, if she is going to give me sex and give me all of this beautiful things that come in a relationship, then what I want to do is be agreeable with her and be like cool with her and be on the same level as her. But again, just like I told you in the last episode, she's not your bro. She's not your homie. She's your subordinate. She needs to surrender. She's number 2. So you can't have that kind of behavior coming from a girl where she's going to start shaming you for talking about her past, or insulting you for talking about her past, or guilting you for talking about her past, or needing to be right even when you are the more logically sound one in the argument. You can't have a bunch of BS in that conversation. What's going to happen is that you need to be very firm and be like, listen, you need to have this conversation with yourself. You need to have a conversation with yourself that goes, listen to me, or like in your own head, is this the girl I want to give my time and attention to if she's been passed through by Bobby, Ricky, my dog Fred, my dog Ross? If she had sex with everybody in your sorority, and Tez, I can't tell you how much times I've seen this in college. Like, one homie is taking a girl seriously that all the homies in the fraternity smashed, and the relationship doesn't work out. Wonder why. Why do you think, Tez? Why do you think these scenarios don't work if the girl has a strong, promiscuous sexual history?
There's 1,000 reasons why. First, I want to start with, you have to understand that women and men are not the same. Your past does not matter. Hers does. Your future matters. Her past matters. So when she has a fucked up past, she's dated a lot of guys. We've seen the statistics. The divorce rate is higher. The more partners she has, the more she's going to be comparing those guys to you, comparing you to those guys, and she's going to think the grass is greener on the other side. She's going to be more likely to leave you because she's seen so much, experienced so much, so she's like comparing you to the guys that she's had. So that's why you want to care about her past, is because she's less attached to sex. She can be more detached from sex when she's had a lot of partners in her past, which means that she'll get up and leave you at any given moment, because there's a detachment that she's built, that muscles that she's exercised because she's been with so many guys. So, like, for example, a virgin, if you fuck with a virgin, you're dating a virgin, she's less likely to leave you because she's so attached to you, because you're all that she knows, right? So a girl who's had a few 100 guys, or 100 guys, or even 50, 20 guys, she's like, fuck this guy. I've had so much sex, just recreational sex, that I don't even feel attached anymore with sex. That's when you know it's really fucked up, when a girl is no longer attached, like, by sex. So if you fuck a girl, right, and she's not clingy to you, she's kind of like, it's just whatever, maybe doesn't even respond, yeah, either you fucking suck at sex or she's a fucking hoe. A girl, her natural state is to, when she gives herself up to you, she gives her body to you, it's for her to feel some kind of bond. So if she no longer feels that bond because she's had so much sex that she now is detached, in other words, she's like a dude now. We can have sex. We can have sex and just like, it's like we piss. Like fucking Myron said, it's like we're taking a piss. We're not attached to it at all. Like, fuck it, we move on with our life. If she gets to that point to where she can have sex like a man, that's when you know she's ran through and you do not take her serious at all. If you fucked a girl a few times and you always have to hit her up first, always like getting at her, trying to get her to hang out with you and shit, she is not for you. She's a hoe. Anytime you fuck a girl, she should always be attached after because she's not a hoe. She feels some kind of bond with you. So it's important to care about a girl's past, because if you don't and you marry a girl that's been a fucking hoe in the past, she's going to ruin your future by divorcing you. Next thing you know, you only get the kids every other weekend. Now you're stressed the fuck out, and that's how motherfuckers are offing themselves and deleting themselves, because they fucked up and married a hoe or took a hoe serious because they thought that they were doing the right thing by saying, I don't care about her past. I'm an upstanding white knight guy. I don't care. Look at how confident and secure I am. You can do anything. You can walk all over me. I don't care about your past. I'm not secure in myself that I don't give a fuck how many dicks you sucked, how many guys you fucked. You're with me now. No. That is fucking brainwashed blue pill propaganda that they want you to believe to accept anything that comes with the women. That is a complete opposite. You need to be a fucking Harvard college. That's how hard you need to be on a bitch. You need to be a fucking prestigious law firm when it comes to taking a bitch serious. And Tez, what the fuck do you mean by that? What I mean is that you need to fucking vet the fuck out of her like Harvard College would, or a fucking law firm would. You need to know every fucking thing about her, her family, her friends, before ever taking her serious. You can't just go fucking walk into Harvard and apply with a fucking 2.0 GPA, or get approved with a 2.0 GPA. They're gonna look at you like, are you fucking stupid? That's how you need to be looking at these fucking dumbass hoes who are trying to get you to take them serious after they've been ran through by 20 niggas, and you want to come here and fucking be Captain Save a Hoe and take this bitch serious. Be a fucking Harvard college, a prestigious college school, and be hard on a bitch like that. Because if you're not, next thing you know, she's gonna leave you, and then your future is fucking ruined. So you got to do that, or else next thing you know, you're fucking done.
Yeah, no, 100%. There's a lot of things that you're touching on here that I want to speak on, bro, because look at how Tez is talking about the fact that you need to vet a girl as if she's a candidate to go to a law school, or a candidate to be in your prestigious high Harvard level college. Like you're at the top of the echelon of collegiate standards, right? That's exactly how you need to vet a girl. Why? Think about your reputation, bro. Think about what you really want to give to a girl that you're dating. If you want to give her sweet, loving things, if you want to have a beautiful, give her an emotional experience, I'm going to touch more on that later. Let's say that you want to plan a picnic with her. Let's say that you want to do some things here. Go to the beach with her. Take her on a date. Go to Miami with her. Anything that you want to do with her. You want to fly her on that airport over there and go somewhere. Whatever you want to do, her reputation is attached to you. And this matters a lot because everybody that you know is going to either bump you up into society as a higher level in society based on the girl that you chose, or bump you down a lower level with your status and say you could have done better or he could do better. You do not ever want it to be on your mission or on your path or on your purpose that another guy that's in your friend zone or friend group, or that's in your family group, or that's in your coworker group, you don't want other people to look at you and say, oh man, he's dating a trash girl that everybody's had sex with, and because he's dating this trash girl who has a lower status, which is, when it comes down to it, that is how people think. There is no empowerment. There is no, oh, his girl does OnlyFans, therefore I like what you're doing, therefore I support what you're doing. That's all cap. That's all bullshit. In real life, they're going to clown your ass, and they're going to say, yo, that girl that he's hanging out with, I clapped her too. Homie over here clapped her too. We could go buy her for $3.99 right here, right now too. And everyone can have like a share of your girlfriend, which is essentially cheapening her to the point where she is so cheap and she is so low in values in the social economic sphere of dating that she no longer qualifies to give you a relationship. So her past automatically destroys your future if you give her any of your relationship attention. Relationship attention from a man is pure. It is sacred. It is from God. It is real. It is literally like a holy divine thing coming up from above for you to give to the woman, because men have this special gift that only men really have to lift a woman up from a pawn to a queen. Now, what happens when you have sex with a girl? Well, like Tez was saying in this example earlier, she's going to lose attachment to you if she's already had a lot of sex, exactly like the tape example. If you guys have never heard the tape example, listen, tune in, turn on your headphones louder, because this is going to be some important sauce that I want you guys to have going forward into your future of dating. A woman is like adhesive tape. You put a piece of tape down on a surface, it sticks really good. You pick the tape up again, and then you adhese it to another surface, it's not as sticky anymore. Then you adhese it to another surface, it's even less sticky. You keep doing this, it can't even stick anymore as per the social and emotional conditions of a woman who has had sex with a lot of men. The more times that she does this thing that is inherent to our behavior as human beings, inherent to our knowledge, inherent to our ways, the more that she has sex with other men, the less that she actually has a chance of being emotionally bonded or able to stick to you. And if she can't stick to you, my homie, we're here to tell you, you're wasting your time with that girl, and time is going to rear its ugly head and show you made a bad investment. And here at 5 Star, we're trying to make sure that you are always on a good investment for your future.
For sure. And if she can't stick to you, then she's going to go stick and hop on some other dick. So you better watch out for that shit. Now, back to the school analogy. Think about it. Think about the schools that accept everyone. They have a 98% acceptance rate. Fucking 2.0, 1.5 GPA students can go there. What are those schools? The worst fucking school. So if you're someone who does not care about a girl's past, in other words, what you're saying is, I believe I'm a piece of shit. I'm a low value. I accept anything. I have no standards. My standards are so low that I will accept whatever it is, no matter how fucked up you are or what you've been through. I'm going to accept you because I have no fucking belief in myself. I have no kind of standards because I believe I'm a piece of shit deep down. You might not even be aware of it. If you accept a girl's past, you believe that you are not shit and you are not worth a girl who has actually preserved her value by not fucking around and being ran through by guys. So keep that in mind, that you need it starts with believing that you are of higher value. You are that Harvard education, that school, that prestigious school, that fucking Ivy League school. Because then you will start demanding the best from a woman, the best from yourself, the best out of life. Because if you don't believe you are the best, then you will always settle for shit that is beneath you, and you are always going to get the bottom of the barrel of everything. And then there's no benefits to that. The fucking consequences of that is going to be life-changing. And sometimes the fucked up part about it is sometimes you don't feel the consequences until it's fucking 10, 20, 30 years. By that time, it's too fucking late. You're 50, 60 years old. You fucking have all this back pay with child support. You barely get to see your kids. Your kids don't respect you. All they've heard their whole life is their mom talking bad about you. So now you're all fucked up because you made this one simple mistake, or it's a big ass mistake, but guys don't think about it in the moment because they're just trying to fuck and they want to be with the girl. So they're not thinking 10, 20, 30 years down the road how this one little decision of them marrying a hoe or taking a 304 series is gonna fuck up their life down the road. And this one little thing, this will fuck up your whole future. So, and sometimes guys don't realize it until it's too fucking late. So that's why it's important to care about a girl's past. I know we live in a time where society tells men to accept whatever comes with women. Let them do anything, accept them. You are a bigger man for that. You are being lied to. That is propaganda to get you to accept women's behavior regardless of how they act. And you are going to take the bad end of the stick if you have that belief. You need to be hard on your standards and have high standards so you protect yourself from women who aren't worth a damn.
Yeah, man. Because like further go upon what Tez is saying here, you gotta understand that like this is. I'm gonna give you like a mock scenario, right? What's gonna happen is you are talking to the girl. You're getting into like a stage where you've now vetted her a little bit, and maybe you didn't vet her because maybe you're not experienced yet. Maybe you don't understand the concept of vetting, but you're giving her some time and attention. You're talking to her. You're hanging out with her. So now you're hanging out with her, and it's already starting to kick in. Your natural biology is saying, well, she's available. We like each other. We probably are getting into a sexual relationship. So now she says something along the lines of, well, yeah. Or you're figuring it out. Like she's self-snitching, right? She's talking about like, I've had a boyfriend before, or I've had these many men before, or I had a boyfriend in high school, a boyfriend in college. And then she's not even, you could tell by her behavior. Maybe she's very sexy. Maybe she dresses really good with makeup because she's experienced at that, which means she's given this experience to many, many men, which now she's saying something to you that always sounds like this. Well, I'm here now. My past doesn't matter. Right? So if she says this to you, we're giving you the knowledge on how to handle this scenario. Like if she says, my past doesn't matter, you might not be able to actually have this conversation with her, but I'll give you an example that we'll do on the show here, right? She'll say, my past doesn't matter, and then we'll say something along the lines of, well, why do you think your sexual past doesn't matter? Because I'm telling you that it does, and she's telling you that it doesn't. So then we'll say something along the lines of, okay, well, you chick over here. Well, let's say that you're dating a guy, right? You like this guy. He's handsome. He's Prince Charming. He's extraordinary. And you really like him. But in his past, he was a woman. Does his past matter now? It looks like, oh, shit, the past does matter, right? So let's give you another example. Let's say that you're very attracted to this man. He's got everything that you want. He's got the house in the Maldives. He likes to travel. He's come up in the world. He's got some money. And on top of that, you guys are about to have your wedding day in the next 15 days. You walk up into his crib. You find his phone. And then you see some pictures coming through on his phone. And it's a sex tape of him and a bunch of homies from about 15 years ago. And he's just having sex with these dudes. Does his past matter now? Right? So think about that, girlie. She will be greatly unattracted to the guy. In some scenarios, like you'll hear the girl say, well, yeah, it doesn't matter. She's capping. She's bullshit. Every time that a girl's saying that, you got to understand they're always going with what's politically correct. They're never going with like what is the truth. Because reality is a very hard topic for most women to wrap their head around. You would almost be better off to have like a fantasy, like a fairy tale scenario going on when you're speaking to girls. But the more that you deal in reality, the harder life gets for them because it's reality hurts. And today's women like to be even more soft than the softest of men, right? So, yeah, man, I could go on this topic for days. I could really talk about how the past really does matter for both a guy and a girl. But the one double standard here is that with a man, it does not matter how much sex he has had with women because women and men are very different things. Men are here to seed the earth. Women are here to be like plants, to be like flowers. They're here to populate the earth. They're here to germinate it. You know, they're here to put humans into it. But how many women a man has is irrelevant at all times. It doesn't matter if you read the Bible. It doesn't matter what culture you go back into. If a man is alone on an island with 15 women, he can propagate an entire society. He can have a kid with all 15 of those women. And then the next year, he can have another kid with all 15 of those women. So now he has 30 kids. So that's 45 people on the island. With 45 humans on an island that all come from one man, you have an entire society that you could be running. You could have the little economy going. You'd be like, they handle the water, they handle the food, they handle the refrigeration, they keep the island clean. You can, just as God said, be fruitful and multiply in that way alone. But let's reverse the scenario. Let's say a woman is on an island with 15 men. Can 15 men get one woman pregnant In fact, let's do the math on this. Let's do it like how these girls are having sex with all these dudes. Because I guarantee you, right here, right now, watching this show, you know a girl with 15 plus in her body count. I guarantee you know that girl. Let's say that they're having sex for the right reasons, to have a kid, which is what it's for, right? So if all 15 of those guys wanted to have a kid by one girl, they would have a very disgusting girl after 15 years of having kids by all these different men. So by that time, after 15 years goes by, and then you have 30 unhappy humans on the planet, on your island, you don't have any way to propagate a society in a reasonable time. There's no reasonable order. It's not like while one dude is getting the girl pregnant, all the 14 men are just like so excited for this one kid to come through. It's completely bullshit scenario.
Yeah, 1,000%. And that's how you get in a position to where when you're fucking with the hoe, you're going to raise a kid that's not actually yours. If you're fucking with the bitch that's getting around and you're taking the bitch serious because you think that she's just sugar and spice and everything nice, but she's really getting fucked by other guys, now next thing you know, she's pregnant. You're like, oh, we're having a kid. You guys have the little gender reveal party and shit. And I think that shit is gay, but you guys have the gender reveal party and shit. And then next thing you know, you're raising another nigga's kid because you decided to wife a hoe. And you didn't even get a fucking DNA test because you just know that that's your kid because she loves you. She would never cheat on you. And that's how you fucking be in a position to where you find out 20 years later that you just raised a kid that wasn't yours the whole time. You invested all that time, energy, effort, all your resources. And that's another reason how guys just commit suicide. The girl's like, I'm benefiting from him not knowing this is his kid. If I tell him this isn't his kid, then I'm going to be alone raising the kid on my own. So a girl, these hoes that ain't shit, will know that it's not your kid the whole time, and she's just going along with it because guess what? She's getting all your resources from this. It benefits her to not tell you that because if she tells you, then you're just going to walk away and she's going to be left alone. But no, you're not even thinking about this because you think that she would never do this to you. But that is another downfall by wifing a hoe, a 304, is that you run the chance of fucking raising a kid that's not yours. Another nigga nutted in your girl and you are raising a whole fucking, you're raising fucking James's baby, motherfucker, and your name is fucking David, nigga. You're raising fucking James Jr. So that's why you gotta fucking really vet the girl and find out if she's a hoe or not. And another thing I'll say is, it starts with knowing that men and women are very different. Because if you're a guy who doesn't care about a girl's past, or you lie to yourself, you tell yourself that you don't care about a girl's past, I already know that you believe men and women are exactly the same. You're going to get so much fucking mental clarity once you start realizing how different men and women are, how different we operate. If you think, oh, well, I have tattoos, so I can't say I want a girl that doesn't have tattoos. Well, I fucked a lot of girls, so I can't say I don't want a girl that's fucked a lot of guys because I've done it. So that's a double standard. And I thought about this while you're talking. I'm like, are these really double standards, or are we really just different?
Right?
Like, that's what it is. So it's not even, we're just so different that we have different requirements. We go about life a completely different way. So once you just start realizing how different we are, you're going to be able to operate from that frame of, I'm a man, this is a woman, and then you start to see her for who she actually is, and you're going to live a much better existence, I promise you. So get out of the mindset. I know we live in a time where men and women are so equal. We're the same, 50-50. A man can do everything a woman can do everything a man can do, and a man can act like a bitch because it's feminism and I just want to identify as a woman. No, that is gay. We are so different. Thrive in your masculinity. They're going to try to shame you, guilt you for it, but the quicker you can do that and the sooner you can come to the realization of how different we are, the better your life is going to be. And this is coming from experience. I've lived this. Like I've been there thinking that men and women are the same. I fucking got all this information and then I was able to fucking get that mental clarity and really notice how different we are. And then my existence everything else just started making sense for me. Just everything else. Once I start to realize how different men and women are, it was so much clarity to where it's like, start to get politics more. Other things in life start to make sense. So once you do that, you're gonna thrive.
Yo, big facts, man. That's the big man things, bro. Shout out to the UK, man. Yo, man, look, not even that. Like, I don't even hear this part talked about a lot, right? Yes, as a man, you would be far and few between to be like, oh, I'm okay with my girl having sex with a bunch of other dudes in her past. And yeah, you might legitimately have a real fear that that girl could have got pregnant by a whole other guy, and you're raising another dude's baby. Now that's like far into the relationship. This is like the girl's already in your house. You already having sex with her. You guys are already in a place where you're having unprotected sex. You've already had a conversation of possibly having a kid with this girl. So you're kind of, you know what I'm saying, you're giving her real like wifey attention at this point. But you, in that scenario, have wifed up a girl who's okay with having sex with the neighbor while you're gone. Bro, there's like this one TikToker, and he's famous, and I'm not gonna say his name right now because I like this guy, you know what I'm saying? I hope he comes on the show, but I literally, bro, homie's A-level famous right now, right? On YouTube, killing it. And on one of his interviews I'm listening to, he's like, yeah, you know, I hook up with girls when I'm out performing my shows and doing my thing. And I know my girl has hooked up with like definitely one or two guys since I've been out, and he's cool with it. Like, he's just like going back to her and stuff. But he's so deep into a blue pill mentality, he doesn't recognize his value at all. Like his clearly his sexual value is low, and his self-esteem is very low from like earlier parts in his life that he hasn't fixed yet. Look at what happened to Johnny Depp when he didn't fix those things. It ended up making him all the cool things that you know about Johnny Depp out the window as soon as that Amber Heard case went through, because his self-esteem had been beaten so low and he experienced so much trauma in his life that he wasn't able to see his own value. And because his value and his self-worth wasn't in a high place before he started dating, he ended up dating, in that case, a narcissist. In this case, with the influencer I was just talking about, he's dating trash. Now, let's talk about a difference tolerance level that I don't really see talked about a lot. Like, I could even speak for myself. Within my own biology, if I know that the girl is not a virgin, and virgins get a very different treatment, they get a very different investment, they get a very different status in the relationship. See, for you girls, I talked about this a couple episodes ago, the most valuable thing that you could do is hold on to your purity. The most beautiful thing that you could do is hold on to your purity, and each and every one of you know that's the truth. It's not like, I'm not saying something that isn't like unheard of here before. I know if you're a girl, you know your purity is everything. But guess what? In 2025, if you throw your purity away, you qualify for a different deal. And the deal that you're going to qualify for is that a guy immediately is going to just put you in a different category in his head. The same way in which girls put like the guy who's for Uber in a category, or the guy who's for paying the rent in a different category, or the guy who's for extreme, extravagant, elegant experiences in a different category. We immediately, I mean, for me, bro, I'm speaking for myself when I say my tolerance level is so low. The minute that I have no tolerance for that. Once I figure out she has like one or two bodies, and that's extremely low, right? In most cases, you're meeting a girl. These days, it could be a girl who's like got 8 bodies. It could be a girl who's got 20 bodies. It could be a girl who's got 40. It could be a girl who got 60. As soon as we figure this out in your behavior, this is exactly how this is what you qualify for. You don't qualify for the extravagant marriage commitment plan at all. You don't qualify for the ring and the ceremony at all. If you've got a lot of bodies, you qualify for the forever boyfriend plan. You qualify for the forever, maybe one day I'll commit to you girlfriend plan. You qualify for hanging around. And then once you're in the hanging around phase, you have to go above and out of your way to prove to me that you're worth the investment at all, which means you're going to have to be really good at sex. You're going to have to be really good at discipline. You're going to have to be really good at your strategy on how to be a wifey and your strategy on how to be a girlfriend. You're going to have to bring so much value to a man like myself that you have to become so irreplaceable and so sorry about your past. And the reason you need to be sorry about your past, or the reason you need to be frowning upon your past with a high body count, or the reason you need to be like vehemently grossed out by your past is that you cheated on the man before the relationship started. Let's talk about this. You cheated on the man before he could give you a relationship. So you threw away your future already. So just keep in mind, the second that you're in this zone, for me, you're a concubine. You are not a girlfriend. You are not a wife. You're not qualifying for the highest order of the house. You're qualifying for a general level of the house. You've thrown your purity away, and you can work your way up in rankings for the man.
For sure, yeah. If you're a girl and you're a hoe, you really just destroyed your value. That's really what it comes down to. And it's like, and deep down as a girl, this is some advice for ladies. Take it or leave it. It is what it is. I'm not here to save a hoe. But it's like, deep down, girls know when they're a hoe, they feel like shit. Like, I want to say it, like, I saw something where it's like girls who have more bodies, they're more likely to be on like antidepressants or some shit. Don't quote me on that. I haven't seen the stat, but I've just heard like anecdote experiences from people. It's like girls who have had high body counts, who end up being single when they're older. They're the ones who have the mental issues and shit like that. So girls with past who are hoes, they don't feel good about that. No matter how liberated and how fucking free they are, how much they show their sexuality. That's not something they go home and they like flaunt that with their parents. That's why a lot of times when you see on the internet these OnlyFans girls and these girls who do sex work, which I don't give a fuck, do what you do. Like, get it how you live. But to the girls out there who are watching this, who are debating on going that route with their life, you notice to where it's like if a girl does OnlyFans and she does like real estate, she'll lead with, oh, I'm a real estate agent, and like she'll leave the whole OnlyFans part out of it or put that on the back end. So it's like, my point is, deep down, the girls don't feel good about being a hoe. Like, like no one really feels good about that. But society's telling you to show your sexuality, be free, be a hoe, because you've been so suppressed and fucking the patriarchy has had you pinned down and hasn't allowed you to be as free as you need to be. But it's all made up and it's all bullshit. All this propaganda is bullshit to men and women to get us to just be against each other. So we're more separated. So women can get a job, men can get a job, have 2 separate households, and pay double the tax because that's what benefits the government. This is all to benefit the government, to pay more money in taxes so we live in a better economy. And I've said this before, like, it goes back to your job. Your job is going to tell you to do what's best for the job, not what's best for you, a company. And that goes with the team. Like, so you have to look out for yourself and find a way to have your own mind. That way you win at the end of the day. Because if you live your life for the government to win or for your job to win, that means you're going to lose. So you're going to have to put yourself in a position to where you are the fucking winner. So being a hoe is bad for everyone. Being a loser as a guy is bad for everyone. So if you're a piece of shit guy who doesn't fucking know how to get up and work, who still lives with his mom playing fucking Call of Duty, doesn't do shit, is still on his mom's fucking phone line or fucking having her pay your bills and shit, you are a loser. You are the equivalent to a 304. So we're not gonna sit here. We're not a podcast who's gonna sit here and just say all this shit about women, how they need to do this and that. No, you niggas need to get on your fucking shit too. That way you can demand the best from a woman.
Yo, big facts, homie. And like I keep telling you, ladies, and more that the guys that I talk to that are serious about dating and are serious about relationships, they want to give you the world. They want to give you the sweetest things. They want to be romantic to you. They want to take you on dates. They want to plan out the future with you. They want to have kids with you. They want to buy dresses for you. They want to take you to Spain, Puerto Rico, Europe. They want to do all the things that would make a woman happy. Men are so hardwired to do this. But let's talk about sexual liberation real quick. What is that? Because if you girls are so sexually liberated and a guy says to you, yeah, no, I want to take you out on a travel plan and I want to take you out on my boat and I want to take you out on these extravagant times and experiences. Why is it that if you're so sexually liberated, you don't walk up to him and say, well, Jamal used to fuck me doggy style and Frank used to fuck me doggy style at the same time. And I used to gangbang everybody in the frat at college, and I just had sex with 3 different dudes this weekend. If you're so liberated, why don't you say that to the man upon meeting him? What is it that's holding you back from displaying all the sex that you've had before? What the fuck is sexual liberation, my boy?
Man, sexual liberation
for women.
It's just society lying to women, tell them that they can be sluts to keep men and women apart. Because the government knows fucking these people pushing this propaganda. They know men don't like fucking hoes. Well, men will fuck them, but we're not gonna wife them. They know this. So if they're telling women to be hoes, what is that going to do? Keep men and women separated. Because if we have it to like it was back in the day, to where women were staying at home and men were working, that means we're paying half the taxes that we're paying today, and the economy doesn't thrive the same way that it does today. So instead they tell you it's the patriarchy. It's men keeping you down. Men's the problem. Men are the one who made it to where you're not able to work. You can't be smart and intelligent. That's what it was. So they lied to you blaming men. So now it's the whole conquer and divide concept. It's like, let's divide these two so they both pay taxes, and then we thrive as a government, as a system. And I don't blame them, because it's like, what else are you? If I run a company, a business, I'm doing what's best for the business, not what's best for one particular 2 employees. If that means I have to sacrifice an employee or 2 for the business, that's what I'm going to have to do. So I don't blame the government, but you have to understand as someone who's in this system how it works so you can get out of it. Because if you don't understand and you're just going with the flow and it's kind of just happening to you, then you're going to lose by default, because you don't even know the game that you're playing. You're just in it. You're just a pawn the government's kind of just, you're the pieces on the chessboard, and the government is moving you around. If you don't understand what's going on in the game, you need to fucking be that pawn and turn your brain on as a pawn and just start moving yourself. You have to be able to move your own piece yourself. So that's how it is. Because if you don't, then you're just gonna be a loser. And it comes down to we're better together. Men and women are better together. Get together, and men need to know accepting a woman's past, regardless of what she did, is not the way to go. And women need to know that, man, we really want to give them the world. Like, I know society's telling you that it's us, we hate you guys, all this shit, but when we find that right girl who's like a good girl, who like actually deserves to get treated, and that's another thing, hoes want to be treated like good girls. It's like a hoe wants a benefit, because we all heard it, like a hoe, Myron says it, a hoe is equivalent to like a fucking bum ass dude. But imagine a bum ass dude living in his basement expecting to just be a millionaire from living in his basement playing video games. So if you're a hoe and you want to be treated nicely, or you want to be taken on all these trips, you want to have a man who's going to do right by you, you haven't put in the work on the back end to get those results on the front end. Or you haven't put in the work on the front end to get the results on the back end. So it's the same way. If you're a dude who's fucking living with his mom expecting to be a millionaire, that just doesn't make any sense, because you didn't put the work in on the front end to get that millionaire. So ladies, just be aware, the more you preserve your value, the more of a fucking higher earning, a bigger reward that you're gonna get. Because good girls are genuinely married. Like, all the good girls that I know were the girls who actually preserved their value. They're all married by 25. And that's another thing. If a girl isn't married, if you're a guy and you're dating a girl right now, she's 27, 28, 30, and you're dating her, and she's not married, she's never been married, that's a red flag. Because a good girl is going to get taken off the fucking market by the time she's 25 if she's genuinely a good girl and she hasn't been ran through. I believe that.
No, 100%, dude. And yeah, no, I agree with what you're saying all the way. In a perfect society, which we're far from it, but in a perfect society, we have men running the workforce and women staying at home. In a great scenario, I think, to offset the balance of all the things that we have going on now, for men and women to be better together, I've been a big proponent of one man, many women. I think that makes the world even more better for what we're trying to optimize here. But they have you believing in exactly the opposite. One girl, many guys. One girl, many guys. They even have a platform that monetizes this exact concept called I call it digital prostitution, which is the same thing as real prostitution, which is also known to you guys as OF. Now, let's talk about this point, my guy. I can't even tell you how many people that, and this is a difference in ideology. This is a huge difference in ideology, right? I'm in college, told you, natural born red pill, always had to deal with the repercussions of that, right? Having that worldview, having the thoughts of like the way that I am, the way that I think, the way that I'm hard about my preferences towards women and dating them. I'm in college, and all these chicks that I'm like cool with, and like they're in the like I'm probably gonna smash, already smash zone. It must have been like right around junior, senior year of college. I can't tell you how many of them ended up on OnlyFans. And that immediately filtered them out of everything for me. You know what I mean? They had no place on the roster. They had no place anywhere for me because their worth is commoditized to such a lowness that it doesn't matter anymore what that girl thought. Because like even if I have sex with her, so what? Any dude can just buy her naked photos and jack off to her. I mean, there's songs written about this. My memory has just been sold. Na, 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 na. That song where she's like, my memory of her is in the centerfold. Yeah, right? Like, there's whole songs about this. There's like, this has been a problem for a long time. There was hoes in the Bible. There was hoes 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, and there's hoes today. And the reason people make these songs and the reason that these stories are told is because everybody and their mother is trying to warn you that you cannot take a girl who's okay with selling her beauty seriously at all. In fact, I just released a clip on my Instagram. Go to Life of Chris live stream on Instagram. You'll see one of the clips that I put out there that I thought was priority for you guys to see right now is where I tell you girls, your beauty is to never be sold. A woman's beauty is so precious. It is so beautiful. It is to be preserved for a man. If you preserve your beauty and all that is pure for a man, he'll take care of you from now until the end of time. He will grow old with you, and so you don't have to die alone with cats. But if you're out here and you thought it was okay when you were 18, 19, 20, 21 to start selling your body, you've destroyed your future. You immediately destroyed your future. You made the account, you put your name in there, you started taking pictures of your body, you started throwing it on the internet. Bro, I'm having flashbacks. I remember I went to a party with a girl that I used to like flirt with and shit, right? And this is a real story, bro. I'm literally in the room. She turns off the lights trying to hook up with me. And earlier I had seen her. She's walking around the fucking party taking pictures of her ass. Literally just taking pictures of her ass so she could put it on the internet later. And I was like, I just was so turned off, and I couldn't take her seriously, so much so that I just was like, whatever. My whole attitude changed. My whole attitude was like, I could just hook up with this shorty right here. But I was so upset at the idea because that's called worth. That's called value. My value, my self-esteem was so high towards what I had seen her do because I had seen that she wanted to romantically hook up with me, and she's already planning to put pictures of her body on the internet for other dudes. So that means if I hook up with her, the next day she's already commoditizing her body to other men. So like, can you understand why I was so turned off in that moment that I just said, fuck that, mission abort, I'm gonna go somewhere else?
Yeah, for sure. 1000%. And this video, this is for guys. Because if you're a guy in the right mind, you know not to accept a girl's past. Like, you just know that. But this is for the guys, because when you talk to a girl that's a hoe, she'll say, I know guys who don't think like that. I know guys who accept girls for who they are, who actually are secure, who accept their past. Those are the guys that we're talking to right now. When you talk to a hoe, you go talk to 10 hoes, and you say, guys care about a girl's future. Guys don't want a girl that are hoes. She's gonna say, well, no, I know a guy who's not like that. I have a boyfriend in here. The guys in my friend group, they're not like that. Those simps are who we are talking to right now. So if you're one of those guys who you're dating a hoe, or fucking you have friends that are hoes, and you're that guy who she fucking thinks doesn't care about her past, we're talking to you. So if you're seeing this video, it's time to just snap out of that shit and start actually being a man and putting your nuts to the fucking wall, letting your nuts hang, and putting your foot down so you can actually stop being a fucking bitch and stop accepting her past and have some actual fucking standards for yourself. Because if you don't, then you're just going to be a piece of shit who fucking gets leftovers. You get leftover food.
100%, bro. And you'd be surprised, like in Miami, bro, in our own red pill community, you'd be surprised who these like tenements affect. You'd be surprised the dude that knows all these things and is still suffering. I know dudes. From putting together these groups, I know dudes that I've literally asked questions along the lines of like, okay, and these are psychological questions, just like I had been talking about earlier in the show. How would you feel if like an entire fraternity of men had sex with your girl? You'd be surprised that it's the handful of dudes that'll say like, I don't care, as long as she's like good to me, it's like whatever. When you say stuff like that, this comes down to self-esteem and self-worth. Your self-esteem and your self-worth are so low. Let's break that down. Why is your self-esteem and your self-worth so low in sexuality and dating? Because you have no practice. It has to be that you have no practice. If you were like a basketball player and you were really good at basketball and somebody was to challenge you to playing a game of basketball, you'd probably, because you're good at it and practicing, you stick your chest out and be like, anytime, any place, bro, let's go. You want to call me out? I'm the man on these streets. Let's freaking get it. Bravado. We need to bring that back, bro. Do men not have bravado anymore? You need to have bravado when you're dating, because if you're dating a girl and you are doing the opposite of what Tez was saying in the beginning, you don't have standards that are as high as a Harvard academia to get in, or you don't have standards that are so high like a law firm that they need to know their bro, I've literally been on the receiving end of people going door to door knocking on my door to ask how the neighbor was, because they were trying to figure out what kind of person that was, because they're trying to hire that guy and give him a job. If you think that motherfuckers won't go to the nth degree when they gotta write money to you, you're fucking psycho. You don't know the real world if you don't understand a level of vetting that people are willing to do for professionalism. And that's just your money, bro. That's just your job. The person you're making love to, the person you're invested in a relationship with, the person you're giving your time, effort, attention, and resources to, you need to thoroughly vet this human being. And this human being needs to meet your criteria of who you want to wife up. Now, as me and Tez have been out here in these streets, we have cold approach. We've gone up to, we have personality profile. We've talked to many, many people out here. And I'll bring you this information today. If you are a man that really wants to take dating seriously and you really want a girl and you really want her to be peace in your life, it's out there. But you have got to do a lot of hard work. It's out there, but it is not easy, and it is not going to be easy to put time into getting the girl, time into finding the girl, time into the relationship in and of itself, time into the dance of a relationship to make sure that it's good, because that in and of itself is work, as we talked about on previous episodes. If you're not doing these things, you're going to be alone, bro, and you probably deserve it. like real talk.
Yeah, for sure. 1,000%. Hit this camera angle right here. So I want to break this down for you niggas, because this is really you niggas' fault. This is the men's fault. Let me break this down. Imagine we got sex as men. Bitches just gave us sex. Girls gave us sex for just existing. Like, you just got sex. Like, they just fucked you just because you existed. You didn't have to take them on dates. You didn't have to court them at all. They just gave you sex. But wait, then they started complaining that you weren't taking them on dates. Well, duh, because you're already getting what you wanted, which is sex. So now let's reverse that. You're giving up all your attention to girls who are dressed like hoes, who behave like hoes, who have OnlyFans. You're giving them all this attention for the bad behavior that they have. So that's why they're behaving this way. It's because they're getting rewarded for it. So you're rewarding them for OnlyFans, for posting naked pictures on Instagram, for acting like hoes. All your attention is their version of sex for us. So sex to us is attention to them. So with all the attention that you're giving them, they're like, this is great. Of course I'm going to keep behaving like this, because the market is responding like this. They're giving me all this attention, and I thrive off of attention. It gives me more confidence. It makes me feel good about myself. So first, with stopping this problem, it starts with men start fucking being stingy, being selfish, being fucking aware of their attention, and just keeping it to themselves. And be very careful about who you give your attention out to and who actually deserves your attention. because there are guys that are complaining about girls acting like hoes, girls having OnlyFans, doing all this shit, but yet they're liking all their pictures, or they're fucking messaging them all day. Guys are giving out all their attention to these girls, but yet complaining that they behave this way, which it doesn't make any sense because you're enabling bad behavior. So you can't expect a change when you're rewarding. You're rewarding your dog for not doing that trick. You're telling your dog to sit or jump and he's not doing anything and you're still giving him a bone. But you're mad that he's not doing this, but you're still giving him a bone. So now your dog's like confused, like what the fuck? Like, you want me to jump and sit down, but I'm getting rewarded for it. So how am I ever supposed to learn? It's the same thing with these girls. You're getting mad at them for fucking behaving this way, but you're also giving out your attention. So then why would they ever change? So it starts with you taking your attention away completely. You know what? If all guys just stop liking girls' pictures on Instagram, stop following girls that don't follow them, stop messaging girls multiple times once they show they're not interested. If guys did that for a year, 6 months, I know this is crazy, it will never fucking happen, but if this happened for 6 months to a year where guys just stop giving away all their attention, I truly believe that the behavior in women will completely change.
And that's big facts, homie. It will completely change. Shout out to that metric, my boy. Because listen, no, I think it will happen, bro. We're going to lead a movement. We're going to starve these women of attention. I really believe the more that you guys tune in, I'm going to teach you gentlemen, starve them of attention. We set the precedent. If the precedent is that you want multiple chicks and we say we're only attracted to that, they come as a package deal. If we're going to starve them of attention and we only give them attention based on good behavior in mass, and the top-notch 5-star gentlemen do that, they're going to have to succumb to our good deal. Now, as Tez was saying, if you do not take this shit seriously, it's going to bite you really bad. It's going to bite you in the ass, and let me explain what that means. Right now, earlier I was just talking about OF. Now, I'm going to speak to people like a businessman here. If you want results in fitness, you need to count your calories. If you want results in diets, you need to count what you've eaten before. If you want results in business, you need to know your profit and loss sheets. You need to understand past behavior, like your credit score. Your past behavior is going to be what predicts your future outcome. But if you don't evaluate past behavior, then you have no way to measure or manage what the future outcome is going to be. For example, if you're running a business and that business is making $200,000 a year, but you need $250,000 this year in order to stay in business, you need to be very creative and innovative to come up with another $50,000. Now, let's apply that to women. A girl who's done sex work before. If she's ever taken money for sexual favors, if she's ever taken money for prostitution, if she's ever taken money for digital prostitution, aka OF, and she becomes very good at this, just like when people are casted into a movie role. If you want somebody to play Batman, they're probably good if they were an action hero in another movie before, so they typecast you, right? But a girl, if she's been an OF worker before in her past, she'll, in the subconscious of her reality, of her brain, think, well, when I get in front of the mirror and I get all beautiful and I take a couple pictures and I post them, that is how I get money. So there's a huge chance, and this happens all the time, that even if she tells you that she's going to stop doing that shit, that's a lie, that's cap. She's going to continue to do that in the future. She's done it in the past. She's going to do it in the future. Now that you know that, the level of vetting that you would have to do to go out of your way to prevent like your girl from sharing her sexuality with everybody is an automatic L. Can you imagine you're being intimate with her? She's in your bedroom. She knows the ins and outs of your phone maybe at this point. She knows the ins and outs of your computer. She knows the ins and outs of your business. She knows the ins and outs of your money. She knows the ins and outs of your last name and your family. She literally could expose you to everybody in the world. Sex is supposed to be a private, intimate thing between the two of you, and she's going to extort her sexuality through stories on Instagram, through pictures on Instagram, through pictures on social media, and sell it and commoditize it and monetize it on OnlyFans. You have nothing. You've already lost. And by virtue of her being so cheap and turning her value inside out and giving herself to the world, you've essentially followed suit, and by the same metric have done the exact same thing, lowering your worth to damn near absolutely nothing, because all you have as a man is your power to give a relationship or walk away from a relationship. That's what makes you a king.
For sure. That's it. Yeah. If you the power of walking, all you can do is walk away. That's really what it comes down to. If the girl's not worth it, just fucking walk away. So yeah, you guys got some good ass fucking value from this. The takeaways is care about a girl's fucking past. You're not of some higher fucking on some higher moral ground or some moral compass for thinking that you don't. If you say you don't care about her past, that you're you're morally upstanding or right. That is not the case at all. You're just you're a white knight. If you don't know what a white knight is, just look up the definition. And you think that you're more attractive in her eyes, but you're actually just lowering your value. And it's like, getting pussy in certain situations is just not worth it. Like, the juice isn't worth the squeeze. If you have to fucking fight tooth and nail to get a girl to fuck you, or if you have to fucking lower your standards so much that you have to act like you don't care about anything, you don't care that she's a hoe, you have to do all this. By the time you get the sex, it's like, is it really even like the shit that I went through? I just completely went against all my beliefs on what I believe. I deep down know that me saying this shit, that I don't care about her past, that I have none of these standards on her, deep down that shit hurts me. I feel bad, but I'm doing all this just to fuck her. Like, at that point, by the time you fuck her, it's not even worth. Like, it's like, damn, I did all this to like just get some pussy, and now it's like you can't even get the pussy in like the most right, like just like.
Yeah, that's what she did. Yeah. Like, she gave up her soul. And now you're giving up your value. You see how you follow suit?
Exactly, yeah. So now,
what she did is now affecting you immediately.
Exactly. So at that point, you've already lost the frame.
Ooh.
So you're already just in default by you not accepting her past. You're just in her frame automatically. You can have no frame. So if you're a guy who says, that's a great point. If you're a guy who says you don't care about a girl's past, you don't give a fuck, you're automatically in her frame. Like, yeah. You can't have your own frame by not caring about a girl's past. You just can't. A guy who's not worth anything, he's not gonna say that. He's not gonna say, I don't care about a girl's past. Like, that doesn't make any. If you're a guy who just wants a fucking hoe and shit, then it's like, now you just got the pussy. Just damn. You just had to go so fucking low to get the pussy that it's like. Imagine having to text a girl like 50 times in a row without her responding, and then she just finally replies. Like, you just tell she doesn't want to fuck with you, then you just keep going, and she finally maybe gives you some pussy because you kind of just, all your pride and all your ego had to go before you got the pussy. And then you got it, and it's like, damn, like, I just did all this to like, to me it's not worth it. Like, if I got to do all this shit just to fuck you, I don't even want it. Like, I'm cool. I'm going to still at least keep a piece of my beliefs, of what I believe, my standards and everything. To fuck you, if I have to fucking remove all of what I believe to get sex from you, it's not worth it. But that's what guys are doing. They're going against their biology, going against their masculinity, just to fuck. And by the time you fuck, it's like, she doesn't respect you anyway. It's kind of like you just got it by like the fucking skin of your teeth. It's like, I didn't really want to fuck him, but he was just there, and he just came around just enough. He was always just there at the right time, and it finally just happened. And it's like, yeah. Then you're the guy who like she fucking like, no, we didn't fuck. Like, it's not even worth it to me.
You see what he's touching upon here. If you're a girl and you're watching this and you think sex is the only metric by which men want to take you seriously, you are mistaken. You are super mistaken. You're wrong. Because if it was just sex, then Tez would say, oh yeah, I mean, I don't care if she's had sex with other people. I just want to have sex with you. That's all we want. No, that's not all we want. It's a full package deal. We want you to be an upstanding person. We want you to be good in your morality. We want you to be good with your sexuality. We want you to be preserved in your beauty. We want you to be pure, innocent, beautiful. There was actually I'm going to tell him a quick story, bro. There's this girl that my dog over here was bumped into, and she immediately started selling purity to my dog, right? She was selling purity immediately. And the reason she was selling purity immediately to Tez it would be as if on the man's side, imagine if like a guy is leading with his wallet and saying, look at how much money I have. Look at how rich I am. I want you to like me because I have money. The girl was doing the same shit with her sexuality towards him. Like, yo, I'm so pure. I want you to like me. And that's because deep down, women know that this is the truth. Women know they're not, if they really like a guy, they're not going to talk about their sexual history. They really know that they're going to keep that private. They're going to keep that secret. There is no sexual liberation. And they really know that they need to sell purity if they want the guy to like them. So like, it's not just sex at all. It's a full package deal.
You know what's interesting about that is no guy that's a virgin is sitting there like I'm a virgin. Like they're not wearing that as a badge of honor. Like I'm a virgin, but like you're running to girls who are selling purity. So that's how you know how much the shit. First, how different we are and how much it actually means. Because, like, as a guy, we'll flaunt our money, flaunt our status and shit. But no dude is like, I've only had sex with one girl. Like, guys aren't, like, saying that because it's just not our metric of success. Now, I'll say this about what you were saying about it's not just about sex. Now, if a girl's a hoe and she has everything else together, she does everything else right, I'm still not... It's still not enough. If you are a hoe and you're doing everything else right, it's not enough. Now, if you are not a hoe, no one has fucked you, no one has touched you, and you just don't get life. You fucking can't cook, you can't do anything else. You're just a idiot dumbass, but you've never been fucked before by anyone else. I'm taking you serious. I'm taking you under my wing, and I'm gonna show you the way. I'm gonna lead you to live the way that I want you to live, and that's gonna be best for you. So, being a hoe or not, your fucking purity, your sexuality, you preserving yourself, that's like 99% of it for me.
Facts.
Like, that's like, because like I said, if you're a hoe and you do everything else right, it's never gonna be enough for me, ever. So
if you're a virgin and you're doing some things wrong, I'm willing to train you.
Exactly.
We're willing to put like some time and investment into this because I know your body and your soul hasn't belonged to another man ever. In fact, let me go ahead and roast some of you Christians out here because a lot of you Christians are soft as hell and I can't take it anymore, bro. I'm a Christian, so I guess it's politically correct, you softies, but when it comes to the male virgin, this is a myth. This is where the only place where you're going to get this kind of sauce is on 5-star. A male virgin is absolutely bullshit. Virginity, as it pertains to sexuality, is only for women. If you are a man and you haven't had sex, you're a man with an unused dick. Let's talk about sexuality in the Bible. If you were into church in like the early 2000s or the 90s and somebody said to you that you need to have sex before you got married, I'm sorry, homie, you got fucking lied to. Read the Bible up and down. That is nowhere to be found. Sex is an amazing thing that God had created for man and woman to enjoy together. Sex can be enjoyed by men in a very different way. Sex can happen between men and multiple women, as you'll find many times throughout the Bible. Sex cannot happen between a woman and many men ever and it be respected at all. It is completely and utterly something that is designed for men to experience kingdom growth or multiplication with their women. Another thing that I want to touch on is that when it comes to sex, it's a very special thing when a man is giving a relationship to a woman. See, we will call it vetting here on 5-star, but in biblical terminology, it'll be called sanctification. So let's say that you find a pure woman, right? Then I'm going all the way back to the beginning of time so you guys can kind of relate it to the modern day because these guidelines are not old, they're current. The Bible's not old, it's current, right? These metrics are not old, they're current. All the way back then, if you wanted a girl, and let's say that this was the girl, and this girl was special, maybe, hopefully a virgin in this scenario if you've been listening this entire time, right? You take this virgin aside and you make her special to God. You pray about her and say, I want to make this woman special to you. I want to sanctify this woman before you so I could bring her in my house and marry her and take care of her and bring her into my humble abode. It was never ever designed to be like, yo, my boy, God, this girl who had sex with Joseph and Jason and Jimmy and Adam and Roger and Frank and Bartholomew After she got ran through the entire village, now I want to bring this girl over to you so I can sanctify her and bless her that she may be in my house, as her soul has been savagely split between many men. But since that's not necessarily the wife position, she does qualify for the concubine position, somebody that wants to make a difference in your household, somebody that has a lesser status than that of a wife, than that of the main wife, somebody who has been ran through, but still women can't survive on their own out in this world. They just don't have those skills. Yeah, we have the modern day where girls can get money, but if it wasn't for money and it just came down to survival skills, women don't have the skills that it takes to hunt or they don't even have the bodies that allow them to carry out extraneous tasks. There is an episode of Survivor, Survivor, where they have men on one island and women on another island. When the men are on an island alone, the men, they're able to find food, delineate jobs, be resourceful to one another, and delineate a way in which men can have an organized society in their community on the island. But women can't do it. The women, when they're alone on the island, they were dying. They were experiencing kidney failure. They weren't drinking enough water. They don't have a sense of direction in their head. So what happens is when like a girl is off on a mission, she'll go off and try to hunt an alligator, let's say. That's the animal that she's going for, and that's like hard for a woman to catch, right? Let's say it's an iguana. She goes off to hunt the iguana, but she can't find her way back to the beach where everyone is like as their main home base. So the principles of the earth and the way that it was created and the principles and the dynamics of dated and the way that was set up and designed to be all follows the same metrics from the beginning of time as into the modern day. And if you women are splitting your soul up with many, many men, it is never going to work out. And me and Tez are men, and we are giving you the sauce, and we are trying to be super honest with you, even though you may not like hearing that in your feelings.
Yeah, the truth hurts. That's what it comes down to. And this isn't meant to fucking make you feel bad or shame you or anything. If you feel bad, you feel bad. But it's the truth. This is what it is. So take it, fucking think about it, fucking whether it's tonight or tomorrow, whenever, just think about it and actually, dissect it. If you want to run with it and actually learn, great. And if you don't, then, you're just going to get the same results that you get. But we put this message out here. I put this message out here for people who need it. If it resonates with you, then great. If not, then it is what it is. But fuck it. But yeah, bro, we had a fucking good-ass episode, fire-ass episode. We brought it to you again. We're going to keep bringing it to you guys in the fucking future. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. And yeah, I'll let you close this out, Chris.
Yes, sir. So this is how I'm going to close this out, right? This is about 5-star, being a 5-star gentleman. And your boy DJ Matchmaker is always listening to music and trying to relate musical elements and stories to you guys, right? I was just listening to this song called Jukebox Hero by Foreigner. You might know Foreigner. They're an older band. They're much older than me. They're from like the 70s or the 80s or something, right? But they have this banger. And I'll tweet it out for you guys, called the Jukebox Hero. And this is how the story of this song goes, right? The story of the song goes that there was a young guy, and he wanted to get inside of the rock festival because he wanted to listen to rock and roll. But he couldn't get in. And he couldn't get in because of his lower status. Didn't have enough money, so he was trying to get in, and he couldn't get in, right? So then what he does is he puts his ear up to the wall of the concert venue that they're at, and he listens to that because he can't get in, and he hears the strings of a guitar just rock and roll, and the entire crowd is going crazy. And as the entire crowd is going crazy, he says to himself the very next day, I'm going to the guitar store, I'm buying a 6-string, I have stars in my eyes, I'm going to bang out, I'm going to rock and roll, and now because I put all my time, effort, and energy and talent into making myself the star of the show, this guy goes on to become the actual star of his own shows. So he goes from a homie who's getting kicked out of the club to now the homie that everyone's going to the club for. This is the case of a 5-star gentleman. This is the kind of man that me and Tez want you to be. In the world of dating, we want you to be rejected by women. We want you to fail. We want you to mess up. We want you to know that it's not all sunshines and rainbows. Sometimes you get some fucked up women and they're really mean and put you in some bad situations. But you know what the fuck is up, my guy? You get to choose who you want to be, and you get to choose who you want to be on this platform where we go out of our way to teach you. After you subscribe to us, like us, and share this and comment, we teach you how to make sure that you're a 5-star gentleman, as me and Tez are putting ourselves in our best in all of these scenarios to bring you the sauce on how to be a 5-star G, my boy. We will not let up, and we're going to make sure that you guys get all the sauce. So please make sure you stick to the show so we can continue to bring the value all day, every night, all the time. Let's fucking go.
Let's get it. We are fucking out here. Fire ass outro. Let's get it. Stay tuned. More shows coming soon. We out here. Follow us on IG, TikTok, all platforms. Follow me, highdemand_Tez. Let's fucking get it.
Yes, Sirski. We are out of this bit, and we're going to have more camera angles for you guys soon, man. It was nice.